कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, अरे कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो। साहब मिले सबूरी में, अरे साहब मिले सबूरी में, मन लागो यार फकीरी में।
I think it also he answered after this लगा मुझे. The thing is, he explained it कि it is the universal conscious. After death, the individual conscious meets with the universal conscious. The prana goes and mixes there. I'm saying, how does one come to know about all this? कि
it's a concept. All that is a concept.
No?
Concept.
बाद में वो निगेट भी कर देते हैं इसको, वो बोल देते हैं
Just concept. It's just that there are some very destructive concepts. To get rid of them sometimes just as a tool, the teacher uses a few more benign concepts. But even the benign concepts turns malignant if it overstays its utility. So it must come, it must dissolve the pre-existing set of concepts and then itself disappear.
That's the only problem whenever we started doing all this, न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट में मैं आपसे हमेशा कहता हूँ नए कॉन्सेप्ट
Louder.
लेकिन मेरी प्रॉब्लम हमेशा ये रहती है जब भी मैं इनको पढ़ता हूँ किसी को पढ़ता हूँ तो ऐसी चीज़ पढ़ता हूँ लगता है अगर दो चीज़ होती हैं या तो उनसे विश्वास करोगे या उनसे निगेट करोगे. अब विश्वास नहीं करोगे तो उसको पढ़ कर रहे हो, निगेट करोगे तो भी आप क्यों पढ़ रहे हो.
Just read with no particular objective, without the need to believe or negate. There is no need to believe everything that you read or anything that you
वही
read.
तो ये स्क्रिप्चर इतना कुछ कह देते हैं, then last day से we are also useless.
We are also useless. The scriptures, mind you, are not truth. They are tool. They are a tool. If something is put in your eyes so that your eyes may start seeing, then the medicine is not the seeing. It is just that which facilitates the seeing. One should never imagine that the scriptures are talking of truth. No. The scriptures are rather talking of falseness. Their objective is to clear the falseness, and falseness cleared is truth shining. What happens is that often, because the ego construes the truth as some objective reality, it goes to the scriptures in search of truth. In fact, this is a very popular adage, is it not? In search of truth. As if there is something or somebody that can search for something or somebody called the truth. This is quite a meaningless thing to say, and quite a misleading one as well. The scriptures are there so that all the nonsense that gets accumulated in the mind may be burned down. That is their purpose. They are like a matchstick. What does a matchstick do? Suppose there is a heap of rubbish accumulated somewhere. What does the matchstick do?
It burns the rubbish.
It burns the rubbish, and having burned the rubbish, does it survive? Does the matchstick survive? It goes. So that's how scriptures are meant to function. Destroy the rubbish and then disappear. Not become a different kind of rubbish themselves. Getting it?
So is it not somehow better if you keep observing your own
It
nonsense.
is better, of course, it is better. See, if you can observe your life, then your life is the scripture. What else are the scriptures anyway talking of? They are talking of your life, your patterns. So you could either read all that in a book, or better still, observe them with your own eyes. The benefit in reading all that in a scripture is that you get the advantage of detachment, the advantage of distance. You see, you look at your life, you become an interested party. It becomes difficult to look
Objective.
really objectively. Real objectivity is when the subject is not there. When the interested subject is not there, then you can look really objectively. That doesn't happen. So observation often is prejudiced, biased, and gives distorted conclusions. It only helps you conclude that which you already are. That's what you observe. As Krishnamurti famously said, the observer is the observed. That's what happens often in our normal observation. When you go to a scripture, there, hopefully, in fact verily, there is someone who could observe with detachment and has been able to put down what he observed clearly for you in his compassion. And since lives are one, because the mind of mankind is one, so whatever he has written about life is equally applicable to your life as well. Are you getting it? That is what is the advantage with reading a scripture rather than observing one's own life. At the same time, observing directly, if it can happen with you, develops a kind of an inner muscle. It activates your own potential to see clearly. Because even if the teacher is well-meaning, even if the scripture is well-meaning, even if he meant to destroy all your dependencies, the fact is you will start using the teacher or the scripture as the final dependency. But if you use your own eyes for direct observation, then you are totally free. So these two, I often suggest, must go together. Having faith in the words of a teacher, guru, preceptor, guide, whatever you want to call, having faith there, and a parallel, simultaneous, direct observation. Actually, both of these are just the same. Given that the guru is fundamentally your own vision, your self, the pure self. Hence, it is the guru who enables you to understand the scriptures and who also powers your eyes to look directly at your life. These are like, two wings of a bird. Support of an external guru or scripture and
Observing your inner.
your own independent observation. When both are fully functional, then you really take off. One should not miss out on any of these. While you must be fiercely independent, at the same time, you must be in total surrender. And these two are not opposites. In fact, one cannot be without the other. Unless you are totally surrendered to the truth, you cannot be fiercely independent of the world. So these two are very simultaneously concurrent. We talk of freedom as if freedom is an abnegation of surrender. No. Only in freedom one surrenders fully. Surrender is not subjugation. Surrender is not forced submissiveness. Surrender is your clearest expression of free will. Only in your absolutely free will can you really surrender. Otherwise it is not surrender at all. It is some kind of a role play, some kind of a programmed action. So be with both. That's why I say here, read as much as you can, discuss with me as much as you want to, and then also go out, stand at the market square, look at the shops, look at the people, and then look at yourself looking at them. And that is a continuation of this session, or if you so please, this session is a continuation of that. Both are one. Don't take them as divided, separated. Because we have had enough of this division. The so-called spiritual man who won't get out of this hall, who won't get out of his self-created spiritual universe, and the worldly man who won't get out of another similar hall, which he calls as the worldly hall. This division is artificial and harmful. Let these two be one for you. When you visit the market, see the scriptures being played out there. Two people talking to each other. It is a scripture being enacted. And if you can't see that, then you haven't been with the scripture. Getting it? At the same time, in the session, when you see ego displaying itself, it is just the market playing out in the spiritual domain. It is now business entering the temple. And does that not happen? Often the student-teacher relationship is such a transactional relationship. I want something from you, you want something from me. How is that different from a shopkeeper dealing with another one or a customer? So see the market playing itself out here. How you negotiate, how you want to extract your pound of flesh, and how the teacher wants a certain psychological domination over the students. Because he too has his needs. That's the, does that not happen? Then is it a temple anymore? No, it's a boardroom. Or if you don't want to give it so much dignity, then it is one man quarreling with a street hawker. See this there, see that here. See both as one. Getting it?